In this video, we are going to talk about something called the rainbow table. Now, let me explain to you what is the rainbow table and how effective this technique is when it comes to cracking a password. So, I'm going to open my victim machine, my hacker machine, and let me even log in here to my backtrack machine. Now, we explained in previous video the technique of cracking a password, and we went through different ways. So if you remember, we had the dictionary attack that use a dictionary file. We have the brute force attack that use a brute force file, which is trying letter by letter and number by number until he is able to get the password. And we explained that the problem with the brute force attack, that if your password is complex, it will take long time. So most of the organization now has a policy that when you create a password to your account, even the email, it will enforce you to create a complex password. So the brute force attack as a complex password was just to prevent the brute force attack. Now let's open an application and just to remind you how the brute force attack was working. So if we go to I think this is the one. No. So yeah, Brutus, if you remember this program, and we can specify like a computer, another computer, or a website, and which port he's looking for, and I can choose from here a word list, and this is if it's a dictionary attack, or I can ask him to keep trying, which is a brute force attack, and I can tell him to try, and we can specify the range. So I can tell him I'm assuming that the password is between 7 and 10 characters, for instance, and it may include capital and small and lowercase and uppercase, so he can try everything. I can ask him to keep trying, and you're going to notice that it will take endless time. Sorry, range. So lower, upper, mixed, alpha, and click on OK and start. So it will take long time actually, and if you are using a complex password, this will maybe take years. Okay, now let's analyze that, why it's taking long time. The point is the password are usually saved as encrypted. So let's take the Windows password, for instance. You know that Microsoft Windows has a file that holds all the password. So when you log in and you type the right password, you'll be allowed to log in. If not, you'll not be allowed. So the passwords are saved here, the local password. Where exactly the local password in Microsoft Windows are saved? They are saved on the C drive. So if you open computer and go to the C drive and go to the Windows folder, and in Windows there is System32 Windows, and then System32, and then there is a folder called config, and in config folder you're going to find a file called SAM, and SAM, this is a file. This is the file that hold all the password, and those passwords are encrypted. So to be able to crack one of those, you need to keep using a password or keep checking different passwords, but you need to encrypt them first and then test them. Let me show you the content of this file. You cannot open this file by just double click on it. You have to open it using a program, and using a program you can take one of the major programs that we keep using, which is Enable. What is Enable? Enable also can open the same file for you to show you the content. Okay, So if I go here and I click on the plus sign, sorry, if I go to the cracking, let me remove everything for you. So remove all, click on OK, and I click on the plus sign here, and I click include the local hash, which is the same file, and next. He will get you whatever is inside. So you have the account here, except you have the password, but as you can see, passwords are encrypted. Those are not the real password, but they are the encrypted one. So when you are trying a brute force, what exactly is that will happen? He will take, for instance, he's going to start with a letter. So he's going to encrypt the A letter with the same type of encryption, which is LM hash, and then verify if this is a valid password or not. If it's okay, fine. If it's not, he's going to take A and B, and then he's going to try to check this password and see if it's going to work or not. And then he's going to take A and B and C. So you will notice that a big amount of effort will be lost in the process of encrypting and de-encrypting the password. So this is what makes the process taking long time, that he keep encrypting and trying, encrypting, and this will take a lot of effort. Now here is the question. What if, for instance, I will what can I say, download a file that is already encrypted? So I can go online, and we're going to see a couple of websites right now. I know that Microsoft Windows, for instance, are using the type of encryption called LM hash. So we can go to a website, tell him, okay, I need to have a file that is I need to have a file that is let's say include all the character from all password from 6 to 10 character, that is including letter and number and special character, that is encrypted with LM hash. So he will give you a file. This usually it's a very big file. You know, it could be like 50 GB, 60 GB. He will give you a huge file that has all passwords, but they are already encrypted. And when you start using this file, it will just compare hash with hash. So it will be much faster. It will not take that much of time, maybe like 2-3 hours, and then you'll be able to get the password. The only problem here is to first to identify what kind of hash is used. So you need to first investigate, and this is actually well known. I mean, we know in Windows what hash is used, and we know in Linux what hash is used, and we know on like a web server what kind of hash is used. So it's not hard to understand that. Number two, and this is a big challenge actually, it's to download those hashes. So you need to spend like, you know, a couple of weeks preparing for different hash file, because those are very big file. And then you can check the right file. So the problem is in Rainbow Table is that you're gonna need to download a huge amount of file first, and as I was saying, it may take a couple of weeks preparing that. And by the way, most of them are free. And you need to have the correct type of hashing, and if you do that, then cracking password will be quite easy. Now let me show you from where you can download those Rainbow Table, and then let me show you how they can be used. So Rainbow Table can be downloaded from different places, but I will suggest something like freerainbowtable.com. It's a website, so you can go here, Google, and you can go to free or free rainbowtable.com, and you can go to download, and you can choose, depend on the target that you are trying to cracking the password from. So you can see that, you know, the amount of password, the amount of hash file. By the way, some of them are free and some of them are with fees. So you can go to download table, and let's see what we have. They have about 974, actually 9074 amount of rainbow table. So download table progress. Okay, so you notice that different kind of hashes here with different amount of information. So let's see the download part. So you can go and download whatever you want, and as I told you, some of them are free while some of them are with fees. So you can check, but you should, as I mentioned, you should be aware of what exactly you are looking for. So this is the first step to download. You're gonna need to dedicate a couple of hard drive. Each one is like 2 GB, and later on you can utilize them in a specific way. But actually, I'm going to show you that you don't even need to do that. You can do that in an easier way. So let's see the available table. This is an explanation how it works. Okay, so this is the concept of rainbow table. Now, how to utilize them? Assume that I did open this SAM file and I have the password here. So I'm cracking the password. I already have the file that includes the hash. I can right click on any password and I can right click here and I can ask him to do a brute force attack on the LM hash or dictionary attack. So, and you know that if we are using the LM hash, we need to specify a word list. So they already have a word list. Let's try to start, and you can add even more. You can right click here and add more word list. And I believe on a previous video I show you from where you can get the word list. And here you go, the password. Don't know if it has been correct or not. Let me see. No, it's not. Let me try again. Dictionary attack, LM hash, and let me remove that and put another one. So we can remove all, and we can add. It comes with its own word list, but I think I showed you some good word lists that you can use. And here you go and start. He was able to get the password. The password is 123456. So this is the password. It didn't take time because it was a simple password. But what if it's a complex password? Now dictionary will not be able to discover it. And if you check the brute force attack, it will take a long time. But you can take the rainbow table attack. But you should have a rainbow table that you can point to. And then he's gonna go through the step, and it will take much longer time. So rainbow table, it's much more effective if you are trying to crack a complex password. But as I told you, it needs some preparation. Now, you have two different ways. If you don't need to go through different websites and spend days downloading file, you can generate file yourself. And Can-Enable come with its own tool to generate file. So let me close that. And let me close that. And let me open here the Can-Enable folder. And Can-Enable comes with two programs. The Can that we have been using before, and there is something called WinGen. And WinGen will allow you to create your own rainbow table. So let's see how WinGen are working. So we're gonna open WinGen, and actually a lot of applications are doing that. So from Can, WinGen, and in WinGen we can go and click on Add Table, and here you're gonna see the specification of the table. Now, what kind of hash should be inside? So it should be LM hash, MD5, MD4, whatever. So MD5 for instance. And the password should be between, for instance, 6 to 10, and as you can see, this will be a hide combination, all the spaces, and then you can click on OK. But if you do that, actually it will take long time as well until it generates the table, especially if it was like from 6 to like 11 or 12 password or something like that, and it will take a lot of processing hour as well. So, but it's one of the options. So you can download the table, or you can create the rainbow table. So let me just remind you that rainbow table is tables that include all password but encrypted, and when you use them, it compare encryption with encryption. Now we have a third option that I can consider the best option. Some of the websites already have the rainbow table, and you just can utilize them. Let me show you an example. If we take any program that encrypt, so for instance, we spoke about the hash calculator. Actually, we're going to speak about this program. It's a program that allows you to encrypt a document or run and get the hash of the file. And this will be explained in the different subject, including the malware. So if I put here a text, I need to encrypt a text. For instance, I'm going to put my name. So, and click on calculate. It will give me the encryption. This is a free application that I'm going to share with you. And this is my encryption text. So this is an MD5. And even if you don't know with which encryption, you can take this text and go to can enable and add it. It will show you it's encrypted with what. Now, assuming that I don't want to go through the process, I have the hash file, I have the password file, I compromise the system, I get the same file, except the file is encrypted. So I have the password, but they are encrypted, so I cannot use them. So what I can do in this case, I can go to MD5 online decryptor. Some of the website, it depends about the hash. You can check for LM hash online decryptor or MD5, but MD5 is the most common one. And Hashkiller is one of the best. You can try, most of them are working, but this one is very, very good. And you open this Hashkiller and you put here the hash, paste, and then you write down the code down here, SUSEQN, and you click on submit. And as you can see, it has been encrypted. So you are utilizing rainbow table that exists on different websites. So cracking the password can be done in different ways. Do not just think normal ways. And as I told you, most of the organization reach a stage just to put a complex password, and they think this is the best way for securing the password. But they didn't consider the rainbow table attack, because rainbow table will bypass this complex issue. It needs some preparation, but it's quite easy. So you should verify if the organization are using a proper policy related to the password. You should verify if the rainbow table attack is applicable or not. And you should recommend some policy related to that. So this is the idea of rainbow table and how to utilize them. On the next video, we're going to take some advanced technique in password. But let me remind you with something, that when it comes to cracking password or getting or compromising a password, cracking is not the only way. I mean, in this section, we are talking about cracking the password. So by using brute forcing or rainbow table or whatever attack. But please consider that you also can sniffer, which you're going to see later on. You can social engineering. You can. So if you plan to get some password from someone, definitely you'll be able to do that. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, feel free to post them and I'll reply back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much.